Hi everyone, it's your boy Ricky here today with Honeybee Stamps, and today we're going to be making a card from the latest release of Love Letters. We're going to be using the Honey stamp set along with the Honey die here that has 3 layers. We're also going to be using the quilted hearts and dots stencils, and we're also going to be using some Distress Oxides, Wilted Violet, and Worn Lipstick, along with some white cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get the first stencil out. And we're going to do the polka dot first. And what I like about this is that there's already a cutout for the card here. So you just line it up with the lines on the stencil and then you just get to work. It's pretty amazing. We're going to go ahead and get this taped down to the stencil and then tape it down to the work surface. And we're going to go ahead and use the Worn Lipstick to go ahead and get that spread across the cardstock here. Once we get that good and even, we're going to go ahead and remove this, and then we're going to get the polka dot version of it, and we're going to be using the Wilted Violet, and we're going to go ahead and get that spread around. And then as you see here, it is completely covered, and then once this gets removed, the dots and the hearts are all together, one by one, really pretty, make a pattern here. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and start working on the die cut here. We're going to do a couple layers from this. The first layer we're going to cut out a white cardstock here, which is the bottom of the die cut, but I actually do switch this out later on to cut out a piece from the actual heart and polka dot section. So we're going to go ahead and get all of these cut out with some white cardstock here and go ahead and get those done. And then the last layer here we're going to do. I was going to do a white on white, but then I changed my mind for some reason, not for sure why, but I decided to cut out the bottom layer again out of the pattern paper here, which really, in hindsight, really didn't make a difference on the card because you really couldn't see the hearts anyway because it's covered by the other pieces of the die cuts. But, you live and learn, you experiment, you work with it, you do what you got to do. Now I'm going through all my purple paper here and I'm trying to figure out what purple matches the purple polka dots here, and I finally found a purple. And what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and cut this one layer out of this purple cardstock, and I'm going to be using that as one of the layers here on the die cut, just to give a little bit of pop to this die cut in this card. So here you're going to see me take out everything here. I'm going to make sure everything's fitting, and then I'm going to go ahead and use some honeybee glue here and get that glued onto the main base here. And then I'll also do the same thing when it comes to the purple piece here, the piece that says honey. I'll go ahead and get glue all over that, and then we're going to place that down onto the base here. And that makes a little bit of pop. It matches the card. It looks pretty good. And we'll just place that into the area that I removed the original from. Now I'm going to make a card mat out of this. I'm just using the piece of paper that I cut the word out with. And we're going to go ahead and get that glued onto this purple piece as well using some honeybee glue here. This thing is very fragile because it's skinny on 2 ends. So of course I got to use my head to make sure it's even, because it's the only way I can get things even when I'm making cards and videoing, is my head has to show up in the video. If it doesn't, it's scary. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and give this some dimension. We're going to use some 3M foam tape and get this popped up on the card here. Like, again, I said you won't see what's behind this, so you can't tell that a word's been cut out from behind this. Now we're going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of this and go ahead and get this placed onto the card base here, which is 110-pound Nina Solar white. I'm going to put something on that to flatten it to make sure that it stays there and that it's good and stuck. The next thing we're going to do is use the honey stamp set. We're going to cut out, or we're going to heat emboss the sentiment. And you just use your favorite embossing ink and your favorite embossing powder here to get that cut out. I decided to use a white embossing powder for this. I could have done a purple ink if I wanted. on a white cardstock, but you know, I just wanted something to stand out a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and get this heat embossed, and then we'll move on to the next area. Now that we have this heat embossed, we're going to go ahead and get this cut down to a strip. I'm just going to use my paper cutter here, line this up pretty good. Hopefully it's straight, and we'll go from there. And yeah, it's straight, yay! So now we're just gonna cut off the end here, and we're gonna put in some 3M foam tape on this and pop it up, and this card is done. I wanna thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure that you head over to all the social media accounts and follow Honeybee Stamps. You can also follow me by searching for Brimero Cards. Also, check out their website for the Love Letters release and check out all that wonderful, beautiful art supply toy stuff that you can make cards with. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. You all have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.